guys, how are you? I hope you can hear me because I am not home, you can probably tell, and there's a TV on in the background. I am fighting light. It is Saturday at 4:11 p.m. and the sun is setting, so I'm probably gonna have to get up and turn the light on. But anyway, how are you guys doing? The other thing, this looks very grainy, I'm sure. I'll figure out once I start editing, but my phone is out of space. It was a struggle when I did Vlogmas. I was recording like 2, maybe 3 minutes at a time, and having to piece a lot of it together, but my phone's out of space and I still owe a heck of a lot of money on it, so I'm not going to pay that off just to get a phone with more space. So yeah, and I'm looking for a camera. A lot of stuff is not in stock right now, so anyway, I'll probably have to get up and turn the light on. That's what I'm trying to say. So, how are you guys doing? Remember me? Took me forever to set up or try to find a setup to do this. Yeah, I kind of disappeared after, I think, what was the last video? Christmas Eve, I think? Yeah, I was getting sick. I crashed, and work crashed big time. All I have to say is thank God for an understanding boss and for awesome teammates who picked up the slack. Yeah, it was not a fun end of the year, and I know everyone, including myself, was looking forward to 2021, but it's just more of the same. Yeah, as far as videos, I don't know. I don't know when I'll be able to do anything on a regular basis. Like I said, I'm not home. I'm at my parents', and wow, this is looking very grainy. I'm gonna have to go turn the light on, and hopefully that helps. But I can't record any earlier because there's a whole lot more noise and things to do. And then the tenants downstairs, the son plays the drums, and serenity now. That's all I have to say. But what was I saying? Yeah, I'm at my parents'. My father's now on dialysis. I hope that really isn't too loud in the background, but can't be helped. There is not one quiet space around here. And 3 days a week, I have to get up at like 4:30 in the morning to take him, so the girl's tired all the time. And when I am home, like 2 weeks of the month, I'm not home. So there really isn't time to do much. I crochet when I can. I crochet to keep sane. But as far as sewing or anything like that, yeah, I don't know when that's going to happen. Yeah, life keeps lifing. But anyway, what are we talking about? Just an update of what I've been doing. I had to go run errands today, so I bought myself a new mug. And the inside, it's not showing up, but it's a lovely creamy yellow inside. And then I showed at the beginning, hopefully this isn't showing up backwards when I go to edit, because I'm not using my usual. But it says, live well, laugh often, love much. I'm trying. So I took notes to try to remember what I've done. And a lot of stuff's going to have to be pictures because I'm not home, so I can't show you things. But whips. And hopefully I don't cause an avalanche. And it's starting. What am I working on? A lot of this I posted on Instagram while I was down and out. But I got the urge to cast on and start everything. I found more pleasure in starting something more than working on it or even finishing. I don't know. Which would account for why I have 20 plus whips around my house. But what I casted on was, what is the name of it? Oh my gosh. I don't know. I will put the name on the screen when I'm editing. But it's a simple shawl. It's a triangular shawl with a center spine where the increases are, and where one of the increases. It does on each end. This is totally blown out and washed out. This is a lovely, I guess, minty green color. Down here is a little darker than up here. It's like fading. This is a ombre, mandala ombre in the Zen colorway. This is a little, I think, a little better. Yeah, it's washed out. So that's what I'm working on, or one of the ones I'm working on. So yeah. So I haven't worked on it in almost a week. But this is, I don't even know how many, 2 weeks, I think. So yeah. And there are breaks of garter stitch breaks in between. The pattern uses I think a super bulky yarn, or is it bulky? But anyway, it's a bigger yarn. So I decided, and you can put the garter breaks anywhere you want. So I'm adding more areas of stockinette before I do the garter breaks. Some of them are longer, some of them will be shorter, but wherever I feel like breaking. So yeah, that's that. The other thing in this bag is I started one of those headbands, and I had a partial cake and I ran out, so it's just sitting in there. And this is a tube, and then it'll become one of those sandwiched, what's it called? I forget what the name of it is, but you know, one of those headbands, but it's in there. I haven't touched that in a while. So that's one. The other one I'm working on is because it's a knitted hat. Again, I'm knitting all the things. Shirley of Jammin' Yarn had a little naming contest for Shirley likes to support us small businesses, and she did a whole lot of that, I think, during the Christmas break. And so she was running a name her little amigurumi that she bought from oh god, what's her name? Oh, I'm subscribed to her too, and I forget her name. If I can find it, remember, I'll put it on the screen. But anyway, she was having a contest to name it, and whoever she picks gets a prize. And she did a really generous prize offering where she wanted the prize winner to support a small business. So she had a list of different of the different ones that she had supported during the holiday, and she gave a set amount that you can spend at whichever one you chose. So I chose Fully Spun yarn, and I forget what her name is, or what I did with the tag. I might have thrown it away since I put my notes on Ravelry, but anyway, I chose a skein of yarn from I'm Fully Spun, and still a little blown out, but this is closer to what it's like. It's gorgeous yellows with speckles of just gorgeousness. Yeah, definitely blown out. The yellow's much egg yolky yellow in person, but it has all these blips of colors, and this is like a rusty red orange right here. It's not really showing up. And then you have this jewelry turquoise right here, which completely is not showing up at all. Everything is so muted and grayed out on camera. But I'm just making a basic hat, kind of like this. And this is Malabriga Rios that I knitted. I started it early last year and finished late last year because, you know, to me it's skinny yarns, and what you're seeing are my braids in here. So this is how I've been rocking my hair for a while. So it's a very slouchy hat because I used up all the yarn. This was what was left. I made a little tassel I attached. I also have a flower that I made out of some of the leftover yarn too. But I'm just making another basic slouchy. And so I finished the brim, and I just started, can't see, but I just started the body of the hat. This is DK, but it's so thin. It's really, really thin. At least to me, it's really thin. I thought the Rios was DK, or is it worsted? but compared to this one just seems so thick. And I cast it on 100, I think, on here. On this, I did 108, and I thought I was casting on a 3.75, and it wasn't until I was done, I don't know why, every time I looked at the needle, it just didn't click. I cast it on a 3.25, so this is going to be really snug. It does stretch, but it's going to be really snug fitting. And I like the long brim so that I can fold it up if I want. Yeah, so for this I did 108. I should have done 120 because it's DK. But what I ended up doing once I was done with the brim, I figured the snugger the better, because, you know, once it stretches, it'll be less loose eventually. I ended up increasing to 120 after I was done with the brim. And then I did switch to 4 mils. I should have brought my chow goose, but I couldn't find the 4mm tips. This drives me absolutely bonkers, doing magic loop, and it just curves on you. It slows you down. Not that I'm a fat snitter, but it really slows you down. But yeah, so right now I have 120 stitches on 4 mils. And this will be I guess a long-term-ish project. I will work on it when I feel like working on it. What else? Let me see what I wrote down for whips. Ooh, I don't have it with me. I also started a Linus Shawl. It's like it's another take on the boomerang shawl. I did one called the ex-boyfriend shawl. It's pretty similar to that. So yeah, that is in a Karen cake in Cherry Crush, I think, is the colorway. But I don't have that with me. I don't think I brought that with me. So there's that. I think I took a picture of it. If I did, I'll put it on the screen. If not, it's just another whip that I started. Something I was going to show as a whip, but I did finish it. So I will wait till finished objects. What else? I think that's it for my whips that I have. Yeah, I have quite a bit of finished objects. So my finished mittens, I think I can't remember if I showed that, but I will put a picture on here of what it looks like finished. I did them in Karen Simply Soft, I think in Dark Sage. I can't remember the colorway. It's green. Yeah. By the time I did the second one, it wasn't bad. I still need to work on the thumb gusset part type thing, but that wasn't bad either. You know, we're crocheters, we can fudge it if we need to. But what I did was, when I did the first mitten, I forgot to switch needles for the body, so it's just straight up. So I remembered to do that for the second one, but what I forgot on the second one was, once you were done with the cuff, you were supposed to do a couple, I think 3 rows of just plain knitting, plain stockinette before you start on the gusset. I forgot to add that. So the second one is short by those 3 rows or rounds. You know, if it was crochet, you could easily rip back, but I think I was all the way up to like the thumb, and I think I was measuring against it to make sure I was where I was supposed to be, and that's when I noticed that, why does it look so short? It's because I forgot those, so oh well. I wasn't going to go back. They were my first ones, and I like to tell myself, just keep going. It'll be lesson learned, and you'll by the time you're done, you'll end up figuring out what you need to do the next time. Alright, so there's that. I also finished more pictures. I finished a cowl. It was a on-the-fly kind of thing. I made this Peter Pan Peter Pan collar back in, I think, 2013, and literally it's been to a couple of craft fairs with me. That didn't sell, and then I think I wore it once, and it was just sitting there, so I decided to just add on. It was done in Karen Simply Soft when they had the color called Passion, think they still have the color, but they renamed it. But I had some Boutique Unforgettable in a very similar colorway, so I just attached it and then I made a cowl. So I'll put that picture on here. And other thing I did, Angie of Lovin' Every Stitch by Ruby Baby. I did her Carí keyhole scarf, and I will put that picture in as well. And I had some homespun that was a partial skein from I don't remember what, and I had it caked up, and I knew it wasn't going to be enough, so I decided to mix that with my brain is like fog, with latte cakes, and I absolutely love how it came out. So yeah, I'll put that picture in if I haven't already, if I hadn't said that already, I don't know. So it was pretty cool, and I know that oh my gosh, what is her name? I just watched her video. I'll put it on the screen. She just had I think she just closed it. She was having a giveaway, I think for her 400 subscribers, and she was giving away, or gave away 2 copies of that, of the Carí keyhole scarf. So I'm going to pause and turn the light on, and hopefully that'll help. Not sure it helps, but light's on. What else? The headband that I showed that was partially finished, I have done a few of those. I think I showed a couple on Vlogmases, so I will put some pictures in here of the ones that I did finish. And what else? For Setta's calendar cal, so I told myself after last year and everything that was going on and everything that's still going on family-wise that I'm not going to enter any cals because, you know, time and me and cals, you know. But I decided to do Setta's. Last year's was easy. It's a hat. You can always do a hat. She's doing cowls this year, and I am team cowl. Are you guys team cowl? I am. I prefer a cowl over a scarf. So I'm doing that, and I did January's already, so I will put a picture in there. And I made 3. I think I made 3. The first one I made was in Boutique Unforgettable, and that was just to use up the yarn because it's just been sitting there. And then I decided to use the same, and it's a made-up pattern. I'm contemplating writing it up, but yeah, mentally I'm not there. So I used that to make the one for Setta. So I will put in the picture of what the inspiration is and a picture of the cowl of what it's supposed to be, or what it turned out to be. I did make 2, and I didn't like the way the first one came out. I used some white fluffy kind of peep squeaky yarn to represent the snow in the picture, and then, or snow ice in the picture, and then there's some highlights of turquoise in there. So I decided, I had a leftover cake of some, I'm pretty sure it was one of the AC Moore, the Stitch Studio yarns. I wasn't quite keen on it. I wanted the cowl to be drapey, like you put it on and it just scrunch, and that one was way too stiff, but I will put it in the pictures anyway to show. So that was Setta's cowl, and I'm waiting for the next one. I am going to participate in the cowls. The other thing that I finished, hang on one second. So, our illustrious Zelda NRJ3 ended up having a kit and a pattern in with Darn Good Yarns. You know, we all know she's ambassador with Darn Good Yarns. So I decided to buy the kit, and I couldn't bring myself to use the yarn. One, it was super thin. It's like sock weight yarn. Came with 2 little cakes, and I couldn't bring myself to do a cozy out of it, or koozie out of it, because it's something that's going to get tossed all over the place. But I did have, so you've seen me do videos in front of my yarn wall. That's pretty much where all my yarn is. There are a lot of cubbies of yarn. But I also have the wide plastic 3 drawers. Is it 3 or 2? I have a 2 drawer where I have knickknacks in there, and 1 drawer has like my cottons and oddball things in there. And I had some wool yarn that I think it's I think the Bitch and Stitch lady. I lost the ball band of it, but it was a wool yarn that I've had in there forever and a day. So I pulled that out, and I also had some, when I was subscribed to Darn Good Yarn, the monthly club, for a while. And one of the things that came was a linen yarn, which was, I want to say it was lace weight, but it was really skinny. It's almost like a thick, like a number 3 crochet thread weight. So I put that with the wool, and I'll put a picture of what Z's kit looks like with Darn Good Yarn, but I ended up making this. And I know the lighting is terrible and you can't really see it too well, but, and I'm using my computer camera on here, so it's a terrible video. I'm hoping to settle on a camera sometime next month, but who knows, because my phone definitely can't handle recording right now. So yeah, I made her koozie, and it's super simple. Super simple, whips up lickety split. But yeah, and it's just on this water bottle I got from back in the day. If you watch The View, at the end, I think every Friday, or maybe once a month on Friday, they had View Your Deals. And they would show items that you can get at, discounts, and this was one of them. So it's a skinny water bottle, and it's a 3-in-1. So you get your water bottle, that's 1. You can open it and use it like a wide mouth, that's 2. Or I should say, that was, you have the water bottle. 1, you could use it as a wide mouth. 2, you can use it as a small mouth. And 3, you have a built-in cup. So I thought that was kind of cool, so I got 3 of those. So, and for my cup holder, it fits just nicely in there, so it's not overly big. So yeah, that's Z's koozie. I think it's called Z's Cool Koozie, or Cool Z's Koozie. I'll put it on the screen. So that's that. The other thing I've been making are these. I had a request for some hot pads, and I made some eons ago just out of acrylic, and it was 2 granny squares you make, and then you seam them together, and you put a little loop on it, when you come to the end of the seam. And I was requested to make like 8 more of those, so I didn't want to do it in acrylic. Right now, the acrylic ones are being used more like what would you call it? Like hot pads, like for a hot plate that you're eating out of. If you're sitting there eating something hot, you put it under it. So I figured I have some cotton yarn that I haven't been using. Why not try to use that? So what I've been making and using up my cotton stash is hot pads. And this is definitely looking purple on screen. It's more pink than purple. But I ran out. So I have this brown cotton yarn that I got at Webs the first time I went to Webs. Do you guys know, by the way, that Lovecraft bought Webs? Yep. So as they say right now, nothing's going to change. And Webs is a huge store. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it in Massachusetts. I've gone once. Twice a year they used to have 10 sale in the spring and in the fall, where it was like a madhouse. They set things up outside and it's just packed. But yeah, they were bought by Lovecraft. Things are supposed to stay as is, but time will tell. But anyway, I bought this brown from there, and I think it goes pretty nicely. And it gives it interest. And it's a great way, if you have scrap cotton, there are others I will put pictures in that I made, because I had one I was using up cotton stash, and also I'd made scrap balls of cotton, and I'd used that in a few of them. So there's this, and this I finished last night. So this is either Lily Sugar and Cream or what's the other one? Whatever the other one is. I started with a chain of 40 on a 5mm hook, and the line is here. Usually you wouldn't see that, but I started, instead of doing a chain and crocheting back into the chain, I did a foundation single crochet instead, and then just kept going on the other side of it. I think if I had a smaller hook, it might not be as noticeable, but I don't think it matters. It gives it interest. And then this is my seam. So the way I seam, first I do the inside loops, and then I go back and I take the 2 outside loops and I close it. So it's closed twice. There's no way it's coming apart, really. And this is pink. It's looking very pale, but it's a pinky pink, bubblegum pink. So yeah, I did quite a few of those, and I'm pretty sure I am all out of my basic cotton, like Lily Sugar and Cream or anything like that. This part of this is the is it the Peaches and Cream that's at Walmart? Well, this is the Stripes, the new one that they have that's soft, really soft. Like the, I love this cotton soft. It's not as rough as this one, or as thick. This is much thinner too. So the only regular cotton I have left is well, not skews, there's rustling. This is 100% Pima cotton, and it's like a homespun type texture from Knit Picks. And this is looking very pumpkin orange on, but it's not. Of course, everything's blown out and grainy on screen, but that's what that is. And the texture, very squiggly. So I have 2 of those left. And then at home I have 3 or 4 different types of cottons I had bought at Webb's as well. Fancy cotton, I guess. They're not your basic Lily Sugar and Cream. And once that's gone, then that will be all my cotton stash. So my goal is to use all of that up. But those, they do say hand wash, and if I want to use it as like a hot pad or something, those are things that get thrown in the wash, so that's why I haven't used them yet. Yeah. What else? I did a scrappy octo. I'm not sure if I showed it, but after I did the last hat for Setta's Cal last year, I had some leftover yarn, and those were the Plymouth, the Universal yarns I had bought at the local yarn store I'd gone to. So I'll put a picture of the octo here. Oh, and the octo is sitting in a yarn bowl that one of my sister-in-laws got me for Christmas, which was cool. She gave me a yarn bowl and a Michael's gift card, which I've had no desire to go to Michael's at all for a while. So, all right, what else? Oh, the other thing, I haven't sewn in a while, but I was doing a little tidying up, and I came across some pre-cut mask fabrics, so I just decided to sew them up quickly right before I came here to my parents' house. So this one, I have it pinned here because it was a little gapey, but this is not the, I don't prefer that one. It doesn't fit well on my face, and it doesn't stay up. So, and I have one of those air saver things on it just to keep it doesn't stay on. So yeah, it's polka dotted gray on the, taupey gray on the outside, and then gorgeous mustardy yellow on the inside. So there's that. I hope you guys can see me still, because it's very grainy from what I can see. Alright, what else? So I'm gonna do a quick show because she said we can show them on social media, and I did post them, so I'm assuming I can show them here. So Reggie of J Hook Crochet reached out and asked if I can do a test of a new pattern. She just came out with a Artemis cowl pattern, and she is in the process of, this one isn't out yet, but she said we can show, so hopefully that's okay showing it here, since I already posted it on Instagram. But it was for a hat, and I won't say the name or anything. Her version she did was in fingering weight. Yeah, no, that's not happening. It would take me a month to do a fingering weight hat. But I did it in 2-ish weights. Ish, because 2 of them I did in number 4, but you know, not all weights are equal, or all yarns in number 4s are equal. So the first one I did was in some, again, deep stash I've had for a few years. This is Jiffy, Wine brand Jiffy. I don't even think they make that anymore. I'm pretty sure they don't make it anymore. It's got quite the halo on it, and you probably can't see in this grainy video, but there's this. For this one, she doesn't say to change the hook size, but because I like hats closer to my head on the brim, I use a 1 size down, or half a size down. I think I used a 5mm here and a 5.5 up here. But yeah, just like her Artemis cowl, it's full of texture. So yeah, so that's why this looks a little in on the brim, and I went a little longer on the brim as well. And the color on this is wine, and it's kind of showing true. So the other one I made, the Dollar Trees near my house don't have yarn, but the one here I went to did have yarn. I was actually ready to leave, and I was doing one last round, and I found it away from where you think it would be with the other crafts, but as I say, brain fog. So I went to the Dollar Tree. They had the Just yarn, they had the cotton, and they had there's another one that they had which was acrylic, but it's much rougher. The Just yarn's a little plump. The other one that they have is not as I think it's their, what's that in-house brand that they have? Something Choice? I don't know. But yeah, I just got 2 colors, and I didn't buy the colors specifically to do the hat. I needed the colors I needed black yarn for an Amigurumi I'll show, and I only needed a tiny bit of black yarn, but I didn't have any, so I had to go look. But I ended up buying a gray, which is called Night, and then just a black. And can you tell? Oh, I can't. Oh, there you go. Can you see the 2 different colors? So this is the gray down here. I used a full skein, full ball of it. I think it's 130 yards. And I ran out, so I had to use the black to finish it up. And then, did I use the rest of it? I don't know if I used I did, yes, I used the rest of the skein to do the pom-pom. So this is 2 skeins of the Just yarn to do it. So what is that? 260 yards in worsted on a number 5 hook. Will give you the hat. And yeah, I'm fighting the light, so this is terrible. And then when she'd asked me, I said I wasn't going to be around my yarn for about 2 weeks. So I come here to my parents' house. We do a week at a time. But because I was sick, my brother had to do it by himself for a few weeks, so I got to make up for that time. So I got to be here for 2 weeks. So I'd asked her, what yarn do I need? And, you know, for the pattern, she says it's whatever yarn and hook that yarn recommends. So I had some Heartland, I think 1 skein of this one in, do I have 1 skein? Yeah, in Brisbane. And I did this one. I think this is my favorite one. I like the squishiness of this, of the Just yarn. I like the softness and the fuzziness of the Jiffy, but the drape of this one, I think I like best. And this one I did in 4.5mm hook. Yep. And did I use the rest of it for the pom-pom? I'm pretty sure I did too. So this is one full skein of Lion Brand Heartland. So yeah, texture, all texture, and I'm all about texture. So yeah, those will be Reggie's hat. Be on the lookout. I think she's aiming for next month to release that one, but don't quote me. So because I didn't use all the black yarn, I had a little bit left after I did the pom-pom. I decided, instead of the yarn just sitting there or me taking it back home and being just another wayward ball, I made a little baby hat, which you can't see because of this terrible lighting. Oh, nope. It's black yarn, basically. So, and then the ribbing, hopefully you'll see it on a different one. So, I had, I think I still have a little ball left. Squeaky chair. So I made 2 more baby hats out of the Jiffy, what was left. I had 2 skeins of the Jiffy, and the hat took 1 full skein and a little bit out of the second one, so I had a bit left. So I made baby hats, and then the brim is 2 front posts, 2 half double crochet, 2 front posts, 2 half double crochet, and on the second round I alternated. I started with 2 half double, 2 front posts, and front posts are double crochets for that. And then I ended one round of single crochet. I had enough for a second. So I have 2 baby hats to go in my donation pile, which I haven't donated, which I'm sure they would have been taking last year anyway. So I have that. Instant gratification. Alright, my last, I think, my last finished object is Amigurumi. So I was itching to make an Amigurumi something. So I started this, I think I started this at home. I did, before I came here, I think. I don't remember. But I was going through my library on Ravelry, which is like 6,000 items, which, you know, I'll have 10 lifetimes, never make them. When I first joined Ravelry, I was saving like every free pattern that caught my attention. And then, you know, as time goes by, you get a little more discerning. I think a couple weeks ago I went through and I was deleting a whole bunch of stuff that I was like, what was I thinking? I'd never make that now. Taste change. But I saw this, and I got inspired to make it. And first I was going to use that darn good yarn from Z's kit to make the M & Echo. I've made like a gazillion of those. But as I was going through my Amigurumi folder on Ravelry, I found this little giraffe. It was a quick make. Well, it would have been a quick make, but because the skinny yarns and holding multiple strands together, you always like drop one and have to go back and all that. And I was holding 3 yarns together. So the 2 small cakes and the linen yarn, which is a little rough on the hand. But and I'll put a picture on, a better picture on. But yeah, the mouth I put on because, you know, I like to have a mouth on. But yeah, she's got her lashes. So this is the darn good yarn, sock yarn that came, and hopefully when I put in the picture you'll be able to see it better because the lighting, I'm fading fast. But yeah, this is her. And the pattern there, it had, what do you call it? Fabric flowers. I just crocheted simple flowers to put on there. Just 2 of them. And the pattern, it had some hair in there, but I just did it on one. My ears just, I'm a tight crocheter, and it just curls under. But she's adorable, and you can't get the full gist of her in this terrible lighting. But yeah, awesome. So that's the giraffe. I will put a link below to the pattern. It's on Ravelry. I don't know if it's anywhere else if you're not able to use Ravelry, but I'll put that link down there anyway. Alright, already been on 40 minutes. Alright, the other thing I need to put in, so right before Christmas, I had actually, early in the year, had an order from somebody, and she wasn't in a rush because the baby wasn't coming till December. The baby, I think, ended up coming over a week early, but I was able to hand it off to her, and she sent me pictures last week. When I was almost done with the order, she's like, oh, do you happen to have anything else? Because she found out somebody else, another friend, had a baby. So I handed her the Brontosaurus that I had done, the one I was having trouble with, and Kim of Blue Cherub had helped me out with. My brain wasn't functioning, wasn't connecting what the pattern was trying to tell you to do. So Kim was able to help me with that. Thank you, Kim. So I'll put in a picture of that. And the other thing that I did was I went on a little yarn buying binge. A couple of them because one was like a charity kind of thing. It was a support fundraiser kind of thing. And those are the Beach Bum yarns that I had shown. And then I don't know how I came across her, but Naima, I forget what her name is. I'll put it down below, a link. But her colors are just so gorgeous, and they just grabbed me right away. And I bought 3, and I think I showed those. And I got them when her prices were on the lower end. And I think she just recently priced more accordingly with the way others are pricing, because it's a lot of work to do yarn dyeing. That's why I would never get into selling. One, space-wise to do it, the complaints I get doing it, it's a lot of work. And I like the bright saturated colors that you get with acid dyes, and I don't have the space to futz with all that. So anyway, I ended up buying a couple more skeins from, there was a colorway that I saw somebody else on Instagram showed, and I was like, oh, I need that. It's one of those instant grab. So it was pre-order, and I'm pretty sure it was delivered while I'm here. So I need to pick it up when I go home next week. Actually, Father Minion has to go to my P.O. box to pick it up. He was supposed to go today and he forgot. But he's going to go on Monday, he said. So yeah, if I find the picture of what it looks like, I will post it. I don't know if I have a picture, because I saw it on Instagram and I was like, you know, as soon as you see it, you're like, oh, hold up, and you're typing and I was gone. It's terrible. I have no plans for it. In my head, I have plans for it. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I could just whip this up until you start, and then it's just, I want to knit it, but it just takes so long. It's just so slow. And if I crochet it, I don't think I have enough, and I don't want to run out. Dilemmas. But the other purchase I did was, and I just did another one too, Lion Brand, I think it's still going on too. They had a 40% off selected yarns, and one of the yarns was their Anya line, and it's Superwash Merino, and again, the colors. Kim of Crafty Nomad, hey Kim, she bought a couple of skeins. I think she bought the pink one, I forget what it's called. But there's also one called Mango Tango, which is like that same pink, but it has like an orangey part to it. It's just, the colors. Colors get me every time. They're gorgeous. I'll put in a picture of what they look like. I think I bought 2, 4, 6, 8, maybe like 12 skeins. And then I just bought, so that was a sale that was done, and then they're doing it again, and Anya is on there again. And I think I bought, did I buy? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 7 or 8 more skeins. Yeah. Yarn therapy. Yarn retail therapy. It's terrible. I have no place for yarn. I just put some in like these little, not the overly large, but like like maybe a 2-gallon size Ziploc bag that you can get at Dollar Tree. I just put them in there. It's terrible, terrible. I don't even have time to do it. Anyway, so that's where I am. Life is lifing, and I don't know if I will be able to do another full video unless, well, when I'm here, it'll be during work time, and then the noise is not bad now. Hopefully when I'm editing, it's not horrible, and I wouldn't have wasted over 40 minutes by not posting. But, yeah. 3 days a week, I have to get up at between 4:15, 4:30 in the morning to take my father to dialysis. So, yeah, those are long, long days. And it's still a work day. You know, I gotta go take him there, and then it's like a 3.5-hour process. So I come back, try to catch a couple hours of sleep. That doesn't work too well, and then I gotta get up for work, and within an hour of that, I gotta go pick him up. Makes for a very long day. Is what it is, right? So those are my yarn adventures. 2021 goals, none. To survive. To survive healthily. That's my goal of 2021, because since the fall of 2019 it's been brutal for us. So yeah, like I posted on Instagram, when life gives you lemons, there's yarn. There's yarn. So right now, yeah, I know I casted on 2 knit shawls, a knit hat. I've done all this crochet, this crocheting. I'm itching to do something amigurumi though, but I don't have, the only other yarn I have that isn't currently being used is some, what do you call it? Latte cakes. And it's a little too slippery for me to do amigurumi, so I may have to go back to the Dollar Tree and buy something, you know, if I want to make a quick amigurumi. But yeah, other than that, I've got this available. Maybe I'll make a flower out of it. And yeah. Oh no, I do have 3 skeins of Hometown USA that I was going to make a 2-button cowl. That's still in my bag. So maybe that'll be my next thing. Yeah. That is all. This hat has been keeping me very warm, especially my ears. Although we haven't had terribly, terribly cold weather. We had 1 snowstorm Christmas week. And then it's just like flurried. Yesterday or the day before it flurried for a little while, but it didn't stick. It has gotten down cold, but I think we have a cold stretch coming this coming week, so we shall see. And I apologize if I wasn't looking at the camera, but because both my brother and I have to work when we're here, we have a big monitor set up here. We also, so my laptop's here, and I'm looking at myself on the camera and on the monitor. So, and forgetting to look at the camera. So, hopefully, if I post this, it wasn't too grainy. Hopefully, I remember to put in all the pictures. And yeah, I think anything that I forget, I think I will put next time. But, and again, I am going to, well, I want to sew, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Yep, I did have a few Christmas bags left, but I took those off at the end of the year because I wasn't going to be around to do any mailing or anything like that. So, and, oh, Jennifer of Cinnamon Stitches showed my, the little pouch that she bought for me, the Notions pouch, And I did have a few of those in process. If I get a chance, I will try to do that, and if I do any updates, those are quicker to do because, you know, there's less stuff involved in the Notions pouches. No pockets, no this, no that, no this. You know, it's more straightforward. But we'll see. On that note, I'm gonna go. Actually, I'm doing laundry right now too, so it's never ending. On that note, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys are keeping safe. Yeah. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.